Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet video here on iStarly TV. Today I'm going to show you how to get all of the new form changing items in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I guess technically they're not new, but given that this is the first time that we can access these items in Scarlet and Violet because Pokemon Home has now updated, and these Pokemon are now available in Scarlet and Violet, it feels new because, again, we had not been able to do this beforehand. So these items I'm talking about are like the Adamant Orb or the Griseous Orb, or however you pronounce that. These items that allow these legendary Pokemon to change forms. And again, this is my Dialga that I caught in Legends Arceus and my Palkia, as well as my Giratina. Now I'm going to go through basically where to get these items because it's the same for all the items, and then I'm going to show you all of those items in action on their respective Pokemon. So we're going to start with the Sinnoh Legends, and then we're just going to kind of go from there. So all you need to do to get these items, again, the Dialga item, the Landorus item, the Hoopa item, you know, all of these items that will change forms for your legendary Pokemon, is simply, oops, I pressed the wrong button, is simply come over to Porto Marinata, which is a town that you can access. I mean, you can technically access it at any point in the game, but I mean, these games have been out for a while. I'm sure many of you have beaten the game by this point. Of course, they are located to the northwest of the school of Mesagosa. So basically this is kind of like the starting area, and they're all the way over here. Pretty much if you look at the map, they're pretty much at the exact western point of the map. So where the 6 is, if you see right there. And that is where you find this auction. It's in Porto Marinata, like I said. And then what you do is you come over here. I don't know why I'm crouching. You come over here, and normally you'll see these people who are selling rare items, and they change every day. However, if you have any of these legendary Pokemon with form changing items in your boxes, they don't even have to be in your party. If you just simply have them in any of your boxes, there will be a fourth person here, a lady, and she will have the item that corresponds to that Pokemon. Now, if you have all of these Pokemon like I did, like I basically transferred all of them from older games like Kubfu and Palkia and the Therian Forms and Hoopa, etc. If you have all of them, then basically what will happen is she will kind of cycle through all of those items, and you do actually have to do an auction for these items. Now, the bidding starts at $500, which is really cheap. However, you never get them for $500. Basically, you do an auction like you normally would in this. There's 2 other people there, and you basically have to outbid them. It seems like the maximum price you will pay for any of these form-changing items, I guess while I'm at it, I should just show them. The maximum price you seem to pay is $7,500, which is not that bad, but it is kind of a lot. So here you can see all of the items. I just got them today. So yeah, $7,500 is the absolute maximum. You will not pay $7,500 for all of them. Sometimes the auction will end after like $4,000. Sometimes it'll end after like $5,000 or $6,000, and sometimes it'll go all the way to $7,500. But for all of these items, I never paid more than $7,500. Now here's the other thing, and this is actually some advice that I have for you if you want to make this go a little bit more smoothly. I'm looking for the Arceus item because Arceus has, as you're probably aware, you know, in the Pokemon games, Arceus has multiple items like these plates right here. The Pixie Plate, the Meadow Plate, basically it has a plate for every single one of its types. And so if you have an Arceus in your boxes, basically you will have to at some point buy all of these plates if you want. So for example, what happened with me is, again, I had every single one of these legendary Pokemon in my boxes. And so, you know, she would give me like the Zacian item, and I would auction it, I would buy it. Then it would be maybe the Kubfu item, and I would get it. And then there would be an Arceus plate, and I would have to buy it. And then another Arceus plate. And basically you have to buy them to get to the next item, if that makes sense. So basically my advice here is if you have Arceus, I would recommend putting it in Pokemon Home first, like not bringing Arceus to the games until you've gotten all of the other items, because it just makes it faster. Like if you just want to change your forms for your Kubfu or your Hoopa or your Landorus or Palkia, just bring those Pokemon into your games, because there's not that many items to get. I mean, there kind of is, but you know, there's not too many, I guess. But if you have an Arceus in your boxes, she's gonna cycle through all the Arceus plates and it'll be completely random. So like, if maybe the last item you need is the Hoopa item, but you also still have like 5 more Arceus plates to buy, you might get the Hoopa item next in the auction, or you might have to buy 4 more Arceus items before you get that Hoopa item. So again, that's just a little advice that I have just doing it myself. I had to go through basically like 20, probably closer to 30 different auctions just to get all of these items. And the Arceus plates, to be quite honest, personally, I don't care that much about them. I mean, Arceus is so strong already that I don't really plan to use it in my game, but I just have it just for collection's sake. And I have a shiny one from Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, so yeah, that's kind of my advice here. But like I said, as long as you have any of those Pokemon with form-changing items, she will be here and you can buy them from an auction. And like I said, if you have multiple Pokemon in your boxes that have these form-changing items, once you're done with an auction, she will just automatically have a new item available for you until you buy all of them, which is what I did. It took me a little while. So yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and show off these guys. Now, I'm honestly gonna be looking, let's see. So this is the Sinnoh Legends, I was gonna say Sinnoh Starters. And okay, I guess there's just one item, because when I was looking on Cerebi, it showed like the Adamant Orb. These are the items right here. But there was also other items. Anyway, I think you just give it to them. Is that the which one? Okay. Okay, that didn't do anything. Okay, let me go ahead and figure this out. Okay, there's also, I was right, there are other items for these. Yeah, okay, these are the ones. So those items that I just showed you, they're held items for these Pokemon, for these Sinnoh Legends, that boost the power of some of their moves. These items here, the Adamant Crystal, Lustrous Globe, and Griseous Core, these seem to be the items that will change their form. So let's go ahead and try it out here. There we go. Yeah, that should do it. And there's a little animation. That's pretty cool. So there's Giratina's origin form. And of course, if you did play Legends Arceus, Palkia and Dialga each now have an origin form as well. So let's try Palkia here. Awesome. It has no arms, which is interesting. It's kind of like a centaur, which is really cool. Palkia now transformed, and then finally you give this to Dialga. So once again, it looks like each of these 3 legends has 2 different items for it, and you do have to buy all of them. But if all you care about is changing their forms to these awesome origin forms, which I do agree are really, really cool, you will have to look for, again, the Adamant Crystal, Lustrous Globe, and Griseous Core. I think that's what they're called. So let's go ahead and see them in action here. Wow, that's really cool. I think I have a shiny Dialga somewhere in one of my games, so I'll definitely be bringing that over so I can, you know, get a shiny origin form Dialga. So cool, so mystical. Now the next item that I'm actually not gonna show is the Arceus plates. Again, I technically already showed them, but there's 18 of them, so I'm not gonna do each one for Arceus. But of course, if you give Arceus one of its plates, it will change its type to the type of whichever plate you're giving it, and then it will slightly change its color. Like there will be some accent on the color. So if you give it the water plate, there will be a little bit of a blue accent on it to show that it's a water type. And then this one, yeah, I have my shiny, Arceus, like I talked about, from Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. I shiny hunted it. Took me several months of soft resetting, but I finally got it. So there is shiny Arceus. The next item is the Reveal Glass, which you will get if you have any of these forces of nature, I think is what they're kind of generally referred to. Of course, this is Tornadus, Thundurus, and Landorus, originally from Pokemon Black and White. So if you have these Pokemon in Black and White, you can bring them over, but you can pretty much catch them in like every game, every generation from Black and White till now. So they are available also in in Legends Arceus, they are available in Sword and Shield, etc. So there's plenty of games where you can catch them. Now, the big one, and sorry, real quick before I kind of continue here, I want to just make this point. Keep in mind that some of these Pokemon, their item is a key item, like the reveal glass for these genies, and for certain others, their item is not a key item, it's a held item, kind of like what I showed with the Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. So again, I'm going to show where each of these items is located in your bag. But anyways, the awesome thing here is we have Enamorus, which is a new Pokemon from Pokemon Legends Arceus. This is the first time we're able to have Enamorus in a game other than Legends Arceus. So first time we're getting Enamorus in effectively a main series game, if you don't consider Legends Arceus a main series game. And its head looks like the Kingdom Hearts thing. I just realized that. This Pokemon's ugly, but I really like it. I mean, it's a great Pokemon, and all four of these are great Pokemon. So anyways, with that being said, the item is called the Reveal Glass. It is a key item, and again, the lady at the auction will give it to you. So you have to use it, and I'll just use it on each of them one by one. It looks like there will be a little bit of an animation once again. And there we have Enamorus's Therian Form, which is kind of like a turtle kind of thing. I think each of these is based off of like a certain kind of like spirit or something like that, which is really cool. And then we have Tornadus Therian, of course, classic. And Landorus Therian, which is the bane of VGC player's existence. He's back, everyone. I didn't realize his name is Taco Eater. I have no idea why I named it that. It's from one of my older games, so I have no idea where it came from or why I named it that. But here's Thundurus Therian, which is one of my favorites, actually. It's also really strong. So I'll show off some of these. I think I'll focus more on Enamorus because this is the first time we ever get to see it outside of Legends Arceus. And look at that, it's kind of like swimming. That's really cool. I can't wait to use this Pokemon. I cannot wait. Wow, this is a little awkward. I can't wait until these Pokemon are legal in Battle Stadium so we can use them in competitive battles, because I think it's just going to be so much fun just being able to use all these Pokemon, a lot of which are kind of new to competitive battling. So yeah, that is the reveal glass for the Therian Forms. Next up, we have Hoopa, which is a cool one. Now, this isn't an exciting one because, I mean, this is a mythical Pokemon. The only way to obtain it is with certain events. I believe only in Gen 6, maybe in Gen 7 as well, but I don't think Hoopa was in Sword and Shield at all, so there was kind of no way to obtain it there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, Hoopa is now here. And of course, Hoopa does have a unique item as well. I keep going back and forth between boxes and bag, okay. Its item is called the Prison Bottle, and it is a key item, which will, of course, change its form into, I believe, the Unbound form, which is really cool, really powerful. And I do love how there's a little animation when you change them. I think that's really cool. So there we go. Hoopa is a terrifying monster now. If you've played Pokemon Unite, you know that Hoopa is a very good Pokemon in that game. And yeah, here we go. Was that in the Strange Ball? Sorry. Oh, it looked like a Strange Ball, but it's caught in a Cherish Ball, which is really interesting. But yeah, I think it does have arms. They might be retractable though. So yeah, this is pretty scary. Look at that. He's here to destroy. I'm gonna make him kind of kill some of these Pokemon here because he's evil. Look at this. No, is he not? Is he a good guy? Is he a nice guy? All right, anyways, that is Hoopa. The Prison Bottle key item will change its form, and I think its stats change as well, so it's really, really strong. Next, we have the Sword and Shield box legends. We have Zacian and we have Zamazenta. Something I'm just realizing is that these Pokemon's they get Terra types now, which is cool. I think their Terra type is probably just the first type they have, but yeah, I have my Zacian and my Zamazenta. I have the shiny Zamazenta. I did have a shiny Zacian, but when I tried to transfer it over, I forgot that it's actually in one of my battle teams in Sword and Shield, and I could not put it from home into this game unless I remove it from the battle team. So I just wanted to do this quickly, so I just grabbed the other Zacian that I had that was not in a battle team. But anyways, yeah, so this is what they look like. These are their regular forms, and of course you can get the items that will change their forms. The item that makes Zacian into one of the most broken Pokemon of all time, perhaps some might say the strongest Pokemon of all time, which is the Zacian, is it crowned form? I forgot what the name of it is, but these are not key items. These are in the regular item pouch in your bag because they are held items. So if you're if you have Zacian or Zamazenta in your box and you do the auction for these items, and then you're looking in your key item pouch for these, remember that they're not in there. They are right here because they are held items. So you must give Zacian the Rusted Sword. Let's see if it does a little animation. It doesn't. Interesting. Okay. And then the Rusted Shield for Zamazenta. Let's see. So I guess these are two Pokemon where it does not do a little animation when they change. Although, I mean, to be honest, they look very similar once they have... Wait. Oh, I think it's only when you send them into battle. So let's go ahead and check that out, I guess. Sorry, Vigoroth, you are not long for this world. Or what I might just do, well, either way, I'm gonna knock this thing out. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. So now it has the sword in its mouth. It has like the gold, and it got the ability Intrepid Sword, which boosts its attack stat. And the same will happen with Zamazenta. And you can see the sprites right there also looked a little different than they did in my, before I gave them the item. So here's my Zamazenta, and that's pretty awesome. Look at that. Yeah, that's really cool. So, you know what? I think I'm gonna be kind to this Vigoroth. I'm gonna spare him, and I'm just, oh, actually, he just slashed me. Maybe I shouldn't be nice. No, I'm just kidding. I will. I like Vigoroth. I like the Slackoth line in Pokemon, so I'm gonna spare him, but there you go, that is Zamazenta, and as you can see, when you leave the battle, they actually kind of revert to their forms. So interesting stuff there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next ones. All right, the next Pokemon we have is actually really interesting here. So let me go ahead and swap things around a little bit. But this is Kubfu, which of course evolves into Urshifu, and in Sword and Shield, you must, in order to get Kubfu, you have to have the DLC, and the only way to evolve it is this kind of lame kind of like side mission where you have to battle through one of the towers. You choose one of the two towers and you kind of battle your way through it, and then you defeat what's his name, Mustard. You also have to like boost your friendship or something. It's kind of a convoluted process, but because we don't have those dumb little towers in this game, there is actually now a new item which will evolve Kubfu into Urshifu, and they are called the Scrolls. There's a Scroll of Darkness and Scroll of Water, I believe, which of course will evolve your Kubfu into either the Dark Urshifu or the Water Urshifu, respectively. I'm just looking for them. I think they are regular items, not key items, or maybe, oh, maybe they are key items, which is really, okay, they are, yeah, which is really interesting because, you know, you can't, I don't think you can revert Urshifu back to Kubfu after. So once you kind of choose one of these, you're kind of committing, although I don't think Kubfu is able to breed either, but either way, here's Kubfu. And I do have the Dark Urshifu just because I only have one Kubfu, so I was only able to evolve it once. So I just wanted to kind of show off, I just wanted to show off both Urshifus, even though I only have one Kubfu. So here we go. Let's use the Water Scroll on it to get it into the, the Water Urshifu form, which is called Rapid Strike, I believe. And then the Dark Urshifu, I believe, is called Single Strike. So Kubfu is evolving. I, of course, named it Po after the Kung Fu Panda, so I'm super clever. There we go. That's really cool. I mean, Urshifu is an awesome Pokemon. You know, it's pretty sad that we didn't really get to see too much of it. Oh, I know 4 moves. You know, I mean, I guess it was usable in competitive battles in Sword and Shield towards the end, so, you know, we got to see how good it was then, but, you know, I don't know. It's just a cool Pokemon. Anyways, let's go ahead and send it out here. This is the Water Urshifu. Now, the thing about these Urshifu forms, they look exactly the same. The only difference, I think, is in kind of their movements. So, but it's really cool to be able to have Urshifu in these games, because again, it was a new Pokemon that was added in Sword and Shield's DLC, so it's kind of still a fairly newer Pokemon. Oops. Of course, if you don't have the Sword and Shield DLC, you know, unfortunately, currently there is no way to get Kubfu, but maybe, you know, maybe people can breed it. Ooh, I'm gonna get knocked out here. Oops, awkward. Also, maybe in the Scarlet and Violet DLC, there will be a way for us to get more Kubfus. But let's go ahead and run away here. And I'm just gonna show off the Dark Urshifu now and just see if there's any differences there. They are different types, right? I chose the different types, right? Because again, they look exactly the same. Yeah, I did choose the different types. So let's go ahead and send out Dark Urshifu now. And they do actually move exactly the same, I think. So again, it's basically, you know, the same Pokemon. The only difference is their typing as well as their signature move. So yeah, there's Kubfu and Urshifu. And finally, the last Pokemon we have with a unique item in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that you can get in the auction is Calyrex, as well as Glastrier and Spectrier. So I actually have a Spectrier in Sword and Shield, but I wasn't able to bring it over for the same reason as Zacian, because it was fused with the Calyrex and it was in a battle box, so I could not remove it when I was in Pokemon Home. But either way, it's kind of the same deal here. Spectrier, of course, is the ghost horse, and then Glastrier is the ice horse. So, you know, either one of them that you have, you can fuse them with Calyrex using the Reins of Unity item, I believe is what it's called. So we have those Pokemon. Let's go ahead and I guess we'll show them off outside of their Pokeballs. So Calyrex is another Pokemon that was brand new to the Sword and Shield DLC. So it's another Pokemon that it was also usable in competitive battles. So people have seen how strong it is, particularly with Spectrier and Glastrier. But, you know, it's another Pokemon that still feels fairly new because it wasn't released until, you know, maybe a year or two ago. Not a year ago. It was released not too long ago anyways. So here's Glastrier, which is really cool. And then, of course, with the Reins of Unity item, key item, this is a key item once again, you can go ahead and basically fuse your Calyrex to either Spectrier or Glastrier. So if you have both horses in your party alongside Calyrex, you have to choose which of those two horses to kind of, again, basically fuse with your Calyrex. And when you do, it learns a signature move that is Glacial Lance if you have Glastrier, and I believe the ghost one is called Astral Barrage if you have Spectrier. And this Pokemon's really, really good. Regardless of which one you fuse it with, it's extremely strong. And then if you want to unfuse it, all you need to do is go back to the item, the Reins of Unity, and then use it again. And same thing goes with all of these key items. Basically, you know, it's kind of self-explanatory, but if you want to unfuse or change back any of the forms, like if you want to change your Hoopa form back to the, you know, original Hoopa, or the Landorus Pokemon, the Therians, back into their original forms, you just use the item once again on that Pokemon. It's as simple as that. Let's see. Let me see if they revert when you put them in the boxes. I don't think they do, though. Where are they? I don't remember where I put them. Oh, here they are. Yeah, they do not revert once you put them in boxes, which is kind of cool, I guess. So if you want to change their forms, once again, you will need to use the item on them once again. And that is all of the unique items that will change your Pokemon's, specifically your legendary Pokemon's forms in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet once you have them in your boxes. So once again, just a quick recap, all you need to do is have these Pokemon, whichever of these Pokemon you own, in your box, anywhere in your boxes, and then you go to Porto Moronata, and the lady there will be, the lady will be there, she's not normally there, and then you can do a little auction for the item that she's giving away. And if you have multiple of these Pokemon, then you'll have to, again, do multiple auctions in order to get all the items. So make sure you have some money, because again, the highest possible price you'll pay is $7,500, which is not a little bit. So make sure you have some money saved up for these. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you out. If it did, please leave a like and subscribe for more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet videos. Now that Pokemon Home is officially out for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I plan to make a lot of videos showing off all the cool features and all the cool new Pokemon like this. So pretty cool stuff. I'm really excited. So thank you very much for watching. And like I said, please leave a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which of these form-changing items is your favorite, or which of these Pokemon is your favorite, and what's a Pokemon who's not yet in Scarlet and Violet who you really hope will be one day. Thank you very much. Have a good day.